You've just made yourself like everybody else. Let's go ahead and talk to John in Brooklyn, New York. You're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would like to ask you two things, please. Did you see this fascinating article in the London Sunday Times from June 12, 2011, about how the Kosovo Liberation Army would murder Serbians for their organs, for their kidneys, before killing them? Then there is another related case of this medicus...
Is that the Sunday Times magazine? Because it's not the 12th yet.
Last year, June 12, 2011, London Sunday Times.
Now, what was the headline? I mean, I do know that Al-Qaeda does murder people in Serbia for their organs, but you don't see the neocons talking about that because, you know, that's part of a real Pentagon op. Just like they're killing Libyans for their organs, mainly black ones, and that's a sacrament to Hillary Clinton. I mean, I was aware of it. I don't remember the exact article, but tell me about it.
Yeah, the headline is Kosovo's Bitter Harvest. Did the Kosovo Liberation Army murder Serb prisoners for their organs at this remote farmhouse in 1999? And in this article, they talk about how there's this case with Dick Marty that 593 Serbian civilians were kidnapped right underneath the American peacekeeping forces for their organs. And then there's another related case, how Hashim Tachi would import...
Tell you what, stay there. Yes, I do remember the article now that you mention it. We'll have it when we come back from break up on screen for Prisonplanet.tv viewers. For radio listeners, I'll give out the full headline. But yes, that is admitted, and that's all part of the goodies. Again, Al-Qaeda is the sword of the New World Order. It's the skeleton key that opens every door. Yeah, I found the article from June 12, 2011, Ed Caesar, so just about a year ago, and I had seen similar reports, both people agreeing to have their organs sold, but others being kidnapped and having them taken. And it was a lengthy report in the Sunday Times, and we were finishing up with John in Brooklyn, then going to Scott and others. Then I'm going to come back and do a bunch of news in the next segment, get into a video the UN is promoting for transhumanism that's pretty unbelievable, but is actually standard operating procedure for these people. That is all coming up. Also more on the Commerce Secretary reportedly hitting one car twice and another car later, probably on Prozac or something. They're all out of their minds or drunk. We'll also get into what's happening with Fast and Furious with that criminal mafia and the Republicans actually flirting with bringing them to justice. But going back to John, that's why I point out that this is all just theater. We don't even have a government anymore. We're run by special interests who are lawless. And yes, they allow Al-Qaeda to operate all over Kosovo and Albania and to engage in horrors, out of a science fiction movie. And then none of it jives with reality when we're told that we've got to give up our way of life because of the threat of Al-Qaeda. Finish your comments.
Yeah, and also another thing I wanted to ask you is a follow-up question on when I called in last time on January 2nd. Now that, unfortunately, Patrick Buchanan has been fired from MSNBC and he's not running for president or Congress, what is stopping him exactly from speaking out in defense of 9/11 truth?
I don't know Pat Buchanan very well. I probably interviewed him 10 times over the years. We could try to get him back on, but he's kind of semi-retired. So I don't know the answer to that question. I appreciate the points. Let's go ahead and talk to Scott. And my eyesight must be going out. I can't read where it says he's from. Scott, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Florida, Alex.
Hey, buddy, what's on your mind?
Oh, well, what's on my mind is I feel pretty betrayed by the whole Paul situation here. I'm sure as many other people do.
Hey, it's just politics. You got to fool people. I mean, they put a press release out. I mean, come on. You got to get the Republicans to like him. So why didn't he endorse torture then? I mean,
Well, I think that both the Democratic and the Republican Party they can't be co-opted or taken over. We got to take the positive out of what came out of all this here, Alex. And so many Americans came together and supported Ron Paul here, and they took over. Look at all the conventions that they took over in all the states, and that is such a good and powerful thing. And
absolutely, people know about the Federal Reserve. They know about crony capitalism. They know about monopoly systems. That's why it's so sad. At the end of it, it's like Ron Paul and Rand Paul and the Liberty Movement set out this huge buffet of fine food, and now Rand Paul has come in and basically pooped in the punch bowl in front of everybody. I'm sorry to use that analogy.
I agree with you. I agree with you. However, all these people that got together and all these organizations, maybe we should start instead of trying to put somebody in as president or Democrat or Republican, maybe we should start another party of some type.
But that's what Campaign for Liberty was supposed to do, was take over the Republican Party, and they've done some good, but mainly it's endorsing neocons, or the lesser of two evils, where Dewhurst is pure, garbage, and then you've got the Cruz guy who's CFR and wants property taxes, and I'm like, what? Again, they're trying to win up front, but win with establishment people, which is no win at all. You've got to be clearly different from the system, so there's a clear alternative as this system goes belly up. Do you see what I'm saying?
I absolutely see what you're saying. Absolutely. The point I'm trying to make is that we should try. Our government was never meant or designed to be run by professional politicians, and that is how tyranny begins. And this organization, I mean, they took over all these conventions in Louisiana and here and there, and maybe these people should keep their organizations together, get a good candidate to run, and start running against these people in Congress, and start seating Congress with people that believe in liberty. And perhaps you and other radio talk show hosts can help these people out and get the word out for these good people and get these people into Congress instead of trying to fight the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. I don't think there's any co-opting them. They're corrupt to the bone, and if we try and put another Republican in there, the bankers and everybody will just support them, give them TV ads, unlimited amount of money to defeat any candidate against them. I think the American people are ready.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run.
Okay, Adrian, Chris, Brian, Scott, everybody, we're going to get to you before this hour's out. I've got to get to this transhumanist video that Aaron Dykes wrote about last night at Infowars.com. United Nations envisions transhumanist future for where man is obsolete. I'm going to do a special report later in the week just on this topic, but I want to cover some of it here in just a moment. First off, here's some of the headlines. This breaking at Infowars.com. The media didn't cover it. It was like one article in the Minneapolis St. Paul newspaper when Ventura filed suit in February. It's now gone to court in the preliminary hearing, and so the suit is going forward. Jesse Ventura gets backing of former SEALs in lawsuit over punch hoax. Did not happen. That shows how dirty News Corps is, who published the hoax book. Well, that section we know is a hoax. So that article's up there. Barack says Hezbollah will get Syrian chemical weapons. This is a day after we broke the fact that it's being reported Al-Qaeda is to be given chemical weapons to be blamed on Syria. And now, sure enough, that's being reported. Is Ron Paul finished on the national stage? John Rappaport article at Infowars.com. Also, Rand's Romney endorsement focused around 2016 presidential run. Ron Paul campaign responds to controversy. Gattaca becomes reality as scientists screen abort human babies based on 3,500 genetic faults. I'm tempted, because of all the callers and news I need to cover that and integrate it in with the transhumanist news, because this is the big enchilada. This is what the global elite are into. This is why I'm almost embarrassed I'm even covering Rand Paul. Okay, our hopes and dreams are to get America back politically from the globalist, but it's going to have to be an individual by individual awakening. We face such a tapestry of lies, such a full spectrum of false garbage, that we've got to resuscitate the general public out of their mind-numb trance. I mean, this is the zombification of society. And things are so much crazier in reality than what the television projects and what, you know, the average person believes is really happening. And I try to wrap my mind around that all the time. How do I articulate that the government openly grows the opium and cocaine and ships it in on record, that they're openly putting poisons in the food and water and our whole system's manipulated? We're living in like a science fiction movie. They're already moving with bioethicists to force genetic testing of parents and then ban people having children under socialist health care. The White House admits they want to ban all semi-autos if Obama gets reelected. And you're like, well, then vote for Mitt Romney. He'll probably try it, too. He's been for a total assault weapons ban. I mean, it's just so crazy that the tyranny's gotten this nuts. I mean, look at this CNET News story. CNET News is CBS. UN could tax U.S.-based websites, leaked documents show, and the UN admits, yes, the treaties and agreements that Congress is trying to sign us onto gives the UN control. They're trying to get Law of the Sea Treaty through executive order to let the UN run the oceans and tax them and the rivers. They're giving $2,500 fines for the wrong trash and the wrong garbage can with inspectors digging through people's trash. I mean, it's like a nightmare tyranny, and it's just getting started. Here's another one. Labor Department backs off plan to force reporters to use government-issued computers. Bloomberg. I mean, I saw that headline yesterday and couldn't believe it. Attorney General names prosecutors to probe leaks, and they're investigating leaks the White House put out bragging about Stuxnet and trying to arrest anybody that leaks stuff, including criminal activity. In fact, I meant to get to that clip yesterday from CBS News from 10 years ago about the $2.3 trillion missing. We may get to that today. Again, we're deep into tyranny. The Congress insider trades, which is illegal for them to do. Illegal, but when they get caught, they say, well, we say we're allowed to. Let's continue here with this news. AllGov has done a report on more Americans killed by bees and wasps. You've heard that before. We've given you those numbers. Or falling televisions than terrorists. We've got all this news coming out about the implosion of Europe by design. And we told you first it would be Greece and Ireland and then Spain and always hundreds and billions more loaned to the very banks that are imploding the country, who then are the creditors. They're the creditors because we back them too big to fail. Then they loan us our own money back to us and then give us sanctions that we've got to follow in austerity. Again, it's just total false reality that the average person is living in. Listen to this report. House moving to hold Holder in contempt. That is some good news. But again, they're trying to get him in trouble for contempt or for perjury. Not even so much for the admitted crimes. They gave press conferences admitting Fast and Furious and Operation Gunrunner, just not the details that they were shipping them out of the country themselves, not just letting gun shops sell them.